Hey, Tony Gaskins here, popping in another quick video for you today. Now, I'm gonna try to start keeping these talks with Tony to 30 minutes. That's gonna be my goal. Now, some of y'all happy about that, some of y'all upset about that. I see it both ways, but I'm gonna try to do 30 minutes unless it's just a whole lot of meat in there and I just got to keep going, because it's so many points. So if he got a good amount of meat and potatoes, then I got to get through it. But some of this, it's some of it could be light, and so we'll try to keep it to 30 minutes. And the reason why I say that is so that I can answer more of them, because my goal, I would like to answer two of them a day. Have one go up in midday, around noon, 1 o'clock, something like that, before 4 p.m. and then another one go up around like 9 p.m. This Eastern time, Florida time. So Google what time is it in Florida right now if you're not in Florida. So that way, or on the East Coast, then so that way you'll know what time I'll be shooting for. No promises on that, but just what I'm shooting for. Dear Tony Gaskins, I do not know what's going on with my relationship, so here we go. My boyfriend, 26, and I, 21, have been together for 1 year and 8 months. 3 months after we started dating, I found out that he had been texting his ex of 4 years, trying to get back with her. They broke up because he decided to take a cruise with his baby mama. We got past that, but over the time we have been together, I found out that he was on 4 to 5 dating apps, not only texting women, but in communication with a couple, trying to arrange a threesome. Also, I saw that on the app, he texted someone named Derek. Hey, but the person never responded. I have asked him if he is gay or is into both genders, and he responded no. We recently broke up for a month because of his best friend, who he describes as a transgender. His best friend is still trying to figure herself out. However, I see it as just another female best friend. This is his second female best friend since we have been together. His current best friend has been getting a lot of his time and attention ever since they met each other. He claims that he has to be there for her because of his friend. She has anxiety and she has had 3 suicide attempts since they have been friends. 2020 makes it 1 year since they have been friends. I try to be understanding, but I constantly feel like he's emotionally cheating with her, and I feel he cares for her because last year he and his best friend was pulled over by an officer, and he took the charge for her because he said his best friend won't have last in jail. So I had put up 900 and she put up 100 to bail him out because that was all she had. She has told him plenty of times that she loves him and is texting him all day and night, not to mention they work together 40 plus hours a week. I have mentioned to him plenty of times that I find these texts to be inappropriate, but he said that he talked to her about it, yet nothing changed. I broke up with him last month when he packed all his things and left after an argument. His female friend, she is only into women, informed me that he had told her months ago that he had sex with his best friend, and when I asked him was that true, he just said people are trying to ruin his happiness because they're miserable. I then found out that in the past he had been getting hotel rooms with his best friend, but he said that they were never alone and that his brother always stayed with him. His whole circle has met and chilled with his best friend, including his son, and he has met/chilled with all his best friend family members. They love him and often invite him over. Recently, I ran into his best friend and she asked to talk to me for a minute, but my Lyft driver had arrived, my car in the shop, so I could not talk to her. It's been a week since I messaged his best friend asking what she wanted to talk about, yet I haven't received a response. I'm nervous because I just got back with him after 30 days of him constantly texting and calling me, pleading for us to work out. Now we're back together. It's like I have to constantly ask for him to spend time with me, and I can't chill with him because he is sleeping on the couch of his brother's ex-girlfriend's house. Our relationship is a mess. Can this be fixed, and is it even worth it? I don't know if I'm being stupid or if this part of the process, because a lot of relationships are worse. Oh, are they? Well, Susan. Well, I tell you what, I read these every day almost, and it ain't too many I done read worse than this. It is not. You probably in the top 5 for several reasons. Whew. So, all right, okay, all right. My goodness. Oh my goodness. Now the interesting thing is that y'all be having questions, don't you? Y'all be having questions. Like sometimes just to me, it's just on the outside looking in, I'd be like, you confused about that? But I get it. I get it. When you on the inside, you can't really see it. But from the outside looking in, I'm okay. So what we'll do, I'm gonna take it easy on you because you're 21 years old. So that means you still a baby. Wet behind the ears, still got Similac on your mouth, spring chicken. 21 years old. The first red flag here is he 26. He 5 years older than you. You don't need a man 5 years older than you, even though it's inside of the age range. But to be 5 years older than you and you going through all of this right here, that's a huge red flag. Y'all been together 1 year and 8 months. 3 months after y'all started dating, you found out he had been texting his ex of 4 years trying to get back with her. So right there, that sentence, we'll go through this sentence by sentence and hopefully we'll be done by 30 minutes. Right there, what that says is he does not want you, did not want you. You were a rebound. You are a rebound relationship, and that's why he was texting his ex of 4 years. He never intended to be with you, never intended to love you, never intended to treat you right. You literally are a band-aid and a rebound. Okay, make that understand very clear. They broke up because he decided to take a cruise with his baby mama. Okay, he had a woman for 4 years and wasted 4 years of her life and could not do her right because he still had a soul tie with his baby mama. He's also a taker and he a fiend for the money. His baby mama was taking a cruise and offered to have him go with her. He could not afford to miss that vacation, so he gave his girlfriend of 4 years his behind to kiss and told her, I'm going on a vacation with my baby mama. The fact that his baby mama knew he was in a full-fledged relationship because it's been 4 years that he was with that woman. The fact that his baby mama knew he was in a relationship and wanted to take him on the cruise, then that lets you know his baby mama is low class. Then this woman of 4 years, she let him waste 4 years of her time, and he was probably the same man the whole time, and him going on that cruise was the straw that broke the camel's back. So he has a type that he likes to pick. He likes to pick women that don't know any better. You fall in line with that because of all that you putting up with and a million of red flags, and you ignoring them and you getting back with him. He like to pick y'all who he could tell don't know anything about love and relationships. It ain't your fault if you didn't have anybody to teach you, but that's what he like to sniff out. And once he find that, he wants you. We got past that, but over time, we've been together. I found out that he was on 4 to 5 dating apps, not only texting women, but in communication with a couple, trying to arrange a threesome. Also, I saw that on the app, he texted someone named Derek. Now, let's stop on this first part. Now, listen to him. He wasn't on one app. Wasn't on 2 apps. Wasn't on 3 apps. Was on 4 to 5 apps. And he trying to arrange a threesome, but who is the threesome with? Because you had to find out that he was on the app. So if the threesome was supposed to be with you, you would already know he on the apps fishing and throwing the line out there trying to hook y'all something to bring on into y'all bedroom. But the fact that you surprised that he was on the 4 to 5 apps, it's like you didn't approve the threesome, and the threesome wasn't for you. Because if you cool with that and that's what you was about to be a part of, then that would be the next play. Okay, so you cool with it, cool. So I'm gonna get on these apps, Plenty of Sharks, Dumble, and all this right here. I'm gonna get on these out so that we can find us something. You shocked and surprised that he on the app. So that right there says to me that he on the app and he cheating on you. Full-fledged. He full-fledged cheating on you. Also, I saw that on the app, he texted someone named Derek. Hey, but the person never responded. Now listen, I don't think I done met a woman named Derek. Now I know everybody, you might know one. Somebody of y'all might know one. But listen, I've been living my whole life and don't know a single woman named Derek. So that right there, okay, he all right. How you on a dating app as a man and you messaging men? All right, okay, now. All right. I have asked him if he is gay or into both genders, and he responded no. Now I'm going to tell you right here. If you ask a 100% heterosexual man, is he gay? That is what a man does with a woman, and what a man does with a man is 2 totally different things. So a man who only likes women is not going to just simply say no, 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 no. A man who just like women, that ain't the answer you're going to get if you ask him, are you gay? For you to get just that simple, no. And he messaged Derek on the app. We recently broke up for a month because of his best friend, who he describes as a transgender. His best friend is still trying to figure herself out. Now, it's who he described as that. A lot of people don't know them terminologies and what they really mean. Now, for him to describe her as that, what that mean to me, and the fact that he messaged Derek, and the fact that he was trying to set up a threesome that you didn't know nothing about because you would have knew he was on the apps if you approved the threesome, and he messaged Derek. So him and Derek was finna be with the friend. However, I see it as just another female best friend. Not if she got a dang-a-lang. If she got a dang-a-lang, that is a man. That is a man. And she may call herself a woman. And it sounds like to me, she still got a dang-a-lang because you said she's still trying to figure herself out. If she ain't got no dang-a-lang and she done went through the procedure, then he wouldn't have to describe her as a transgender. She would be a transgender. And she wouldn't still be trying to figure herself out if the dang-a-lang was gone. So context clues let me know she out of dang-a-lang. Your boyfriend on the app messaging Derek for a threesome with the friend. Her who got a dang-a-lang. Sis, you got a lot going on in here now. You got a lot going on in here. And you ain't mentioned not a thing about abstinence. So you allowing him to put that he out there with all of this here going on, you allowing him to put that into you. Testing. Can you hear me now? Verizon, AT&T. Can you hear me now? Sprint, Nextel, BlackBerry. Can you hear me now? Come on now. Oh my goodness. Woo. And honestly, I would think this is a fake letter, but this is a real email, and this is a real young lady right here. I see her picture right there. If you got a Gmail account, you put a picture. They allow you to upload a picture. I'm looking right here at a picture. Now, it is just a little bitty circle that be on Gmail, so when I be looking at y'all picture, I can't really see much. But this here picture look like very similar to the late great, God rest her soul, Aaliyah. The hairstyle and all the way down to the complexion. And you're 21 years old, so still a baby. And you got this here, man. Oh my goodness. Whoo. Well, look here. I was finna shoot 2 of these today. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to shoot another one. Cause this right here, sister, everything ain't common. I know they say everything ain't common, meaning this ain't common knowledge. This is obviously not common knowledge if all of this right here going on and you don't have sirens going off in your head 24 hours a day. With all these red flags right here, sister, you shouldn't be able to sleep with all these red flags. It should just be alarms going off in your head all day. Like you sitting in a firehouse and an alarm that went off, and it just, that's what your head ought to sound like with just this first little few sentences right here. Come on now. This is his second female best friend since we have been together. His current best friend has been getting a lot of his time and attention ever since they met. He claims that he has to be there for his friend because she had anxiety, and she had 3 attempts since they have been friends. 2020 makes it 1 year since they have been friends. I try to be understanding, but I constantly feel like he's emotionally cheating with her, and I feel he cares for her because last year he and his best friend were pulled over by an officer, and he took the charge because his best friend wouldn't have lasted in jail. See, that right there, that person right there is who he need to be in a relationship with. That's who he in a relationship. He's not in a relationship with you. He's in a relationship with her. You don't take no charge for no friend of a year. He in a relationship with her. You is the side piece. See, you the cover up. And I remember when I was in the streets, I met a man like this right here. I was in the streets. I met a man like this. And this man, he you know, he was dark skinned. He probably was my height. He probably was an inch or two shorter than me. He had braids in his hair. He looked like, you know, like a man, like a street dude almost. He looked like a street dude almost. And he would always be with this little crew. And one of them was like a guy who was flamboyantly, you know, gay. And just the kind of guy that, you know, do the little mouth noise and flipping the hands and just, I don't know. Hey, yeah. And so the guy, I don't know where I met him at. Could have been at the gas station or somewhere. And, you know, I used to have that, you know, that gas. And I used to just put it in people's nose. Hey, ooh, oh yeah, I got it. And so I was out there hustling. And I don't know how I met the guy, really. I can't remember. But one of them was this guy who was a gay guy. The other one was a tall, light-skinned transgender. Okay, but that surgery is not cheap. So I know the person ain't had no surgery because I just tell by the car they riding in and all of that. I don't know what the surgery costs, but I just know ain't nothing cheap in no medical office when you going from a angle lane to this. Okay, when you switching from a hot dog to a Taco Bell, them doctors gonna charge. So I know that this here other person in they little clique was a man, but dressed like a woman. Had a little stubble on the chin. Adam Apple. That was a man. And then, you know, the guy was my client. He looked it like there was no signs with him. Like, you know, sometimes you have men who like men and they will kind of show these signs and kind of they'll talk like a woman. And even though they a man, they'll talk like a woman and have mannerisms and stuff like a woman. And so you say, okay, all right, I get where you're going with that there, Playboy. But this guy here, he didn't have any kind of ways about him. And one day I'm sitting at my apartment, and I always was just kind of confused by their little clique. And then everybody they would hang out, everybody was like that. Like everybody was like swapping genders or something, and they used to all be together, and they used, you know, buy from me for their little hangout, for their little party. And one day I'm sitting there, I happen to be, I was by myself in my apartment, and I ain't saying no lie. I was sitting on the toilet stool. I'm sitting there, and we used to have flip phones back then. So I got my phone flipped, and you know, I'm texting. I get a text message from the gentleman. It say, hey, it said something. I can't remember how it led into it, but what I remember, it said, I want to know if I could give you it. Yeah. Singing on the microphone. I want to know if I could give you. And I dropped my phone. My phone dropped out my hand. I was like, whoa, what did I just read? You hear me? And I picked up the phone, and you know, I'm not a nasty guy, I'm not a rude guy, nothing like that. And I say, hey, brother, you know, I don't get down, I don't move like that. Whatever the word was back then, you know, I don't mind selling to y'all, you and your crew, but I don't move like that. And then the response was, I promise you it'll be better than you've ever received from any girl, and you'll never want another girl again. That's what the response was. I say again, brother, that is not me. I do not play around like that. Then the person said, oh, Then the guy said, "Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm drunk. I'm at my mama's house and I'm drunk and I ain't mean to send that." I never heard from the guy again because that was, I guess he was so embarrassed because he probably was like, man, I'm gonna shoot this here shot. And I used to get that a lot different times because my eyes were lighter. I had a lighter color eyes, and it's kind of like guys get put in a box. So if you look like a old gorilla, don't nobody question your sexuality. But if something is off about you, you got a lighter color eyes, or you light skin, or something like that, men go get. I was just listening to a rapper. He said, I'm light skinned, so I had to toughen up. Like I had to learn how to fight. On the soundtrack of the movie, the Black Panther movie that just came out, they got a soundtrack. I was listening to one of the songs, and the rapper named G Herbo, he said that in there. He said, I'm light skinned, so I had to toughen up. And I was like, man, boy, he ain't lying. Because when you just, some on you, that a guy look at you and say, oh, you don't look like the back of a 57 Chevy, so you must like men. That's how a lot of guys are. And so this guy, he probably just assumed that, because I looked different to him, then that I had to be like that. And I remember my mama, when she used to raise me, when my mom raised me, she used to say stuff like that. She'll say, son, you better not be a. I'm like, mama, what is you talking about? And then she said one time, she said, this my mama now. She said, all the fine men be gay. And you real handsome. And all of them, look at your cousin such and such. And she talking about my cousin. She was like, he is so handsome. All the girls wanted him. And now he is. So it was a lot of, like tension in the black race with that. Where I come from, I don't know about where y'all come from, but a lot of men, so the men, like your boyfriend, he probably, where he from, if he feel like that, he can't even come out. He can't even come out. And so that, honestly, it make men like myself growing up, if you get tried like that just because something different about you. And so for me, I was like one of two guys out of the whole school, the whole city, with hazel or gray or orange, your eyes turn colors with the seasons. And everybody used to make fun of it and talk about that. And, I had a headband on one time, and one of my teammates on the football team like, man, Tony's so pretty. If he had hair, he'll look like a girl. They'll say stuff like that. So guys like me, we had to become very hardened to where we had to become almost like what they call, what you call it? What y'all call that word? A phobia, homophobia. That's what people would almost kind of call you because you had to distance yourself. I remember a young lady was at my homeboy house, and I went over there. He was making music. She's sitting over there. She was like, "Oh yeah, you his homeboy. Yeah, I seen you on Facebook." I thought it was, hey, that's what she said to me. She thought I was, hey. I said, what? She said, I looked at your picture. I'm like, I said, so what made you think that? She said, your eyes. I said, do you realize I don't have color contact. Like, this is how I was born. So, this is how I was born. So, just because a black man can't have something that's different about him, a certain skin color, a certain eye color, without being accused of being with a man. And that's just how it was. So, this right here, he sounds like he actually is into that lifestyle, but because of where he come from, that's not accepted, and so he done got you as his cover up. Because birds of a feather flock together. So it's not about hating somebody or whatever, but you don't typically see heterosexual men having a transgender best friend. That's not the norm. It ain't nah. It could happen, but that ain't the norm. So from what I'm reading right here, sister, it sounds like your man like him some men, and you give him that little cover up, and then he picking best friends who are into a different lifestyle. Because just like this other best friend that you say she only into women, a lot of times when women who are only into women, they also have friends like who are men who into men, or they have sometimes because they form a community because they feel different, and they could be in certain communities, could be ostracized, could be alienated. In certain countries, come up missing. You see what I mean? In certain communities, come up missing. So in those individuals in certain areas, they'll click up together. And that's why when I used to be selling to that man, his whole crew was like that. And I was like, this is really interesting, because I did not see that. He didn't show any kind of signs. Like it sounded like your guy don't really show no, flagrant signs to where he just out there and you could say, oh, this man is real feminine and he like men. He may like men. Like, you ain't saying that obviously because you with him. But now here's the thing. You asked him. You said, I have asked him if he is a. If he is a. Listen. This to every woman. Listen to this. And the reason why I'm kind of touching on this, because it's honestly, it's really, it's crazy and it's kind of sad. But this is what's happening. That a lot of men today are into men, but yet they sleeping with women. And a lot of women are catching STDs and UTIs and all kind of stuff because the way a lot of men move, if you got a brother or son or whatever, it's a lot of men don't like to bathe like that. A lot of men don't take baths like that, to take showers on the regular like that. So a lot of these men, this man here, he with these here people he hanging with, he taking that thing out of them and coming home and putting in you. And it ain't had no wash. And this happening a lot more. A lot. This happening a lot. And especially a lot of these bigger cities too. Everybody already know, certain big cities that this happening a lot. That these men, they are going a different way. And I hate this MGTOW. Men going their own way. What way y'all? What did y'all talk about? And I've been hearing a lot of women saying that too. A lot of women been saying, what I find is that these men who hate women and mistreat women typically are down low brother. And I remember one time I was on Black Planet way back in the day in college. I'm on Black Planet and I'm looking for women on there. And I remember I was in West Virginia and I remember I was talking to a young lady in Georgia. And while I'm on there and I'm looking for different women, I'm trying to connect, because I was in the middle of nowhere in West Virginia, in Buckhannon, West Virginia, playing college football. And one day I get a message from a guy like yo boyfriend. I get a message and the message said, hey, what? That's the kind of message he sent. Now he'll just say, hey. The message I got, it said, hey, I am a DL and wanted to know if you are too. I say, Lord. Now this was before the other incident. This was, I was in college in West Virginia. This other incident was after that, when I came home to Florida after I got kicked out of college, kicked off my football team. I came home and I was full time in the streets. So it's a few times in my life that I done had men try to shoot their shot. And now that time right there, I got, the second time I'm thinking about money. So I'm like, man, listen, that's you live that lifestyle right there And I was trying to, in my head, tell myself, man, don't be homophobic. Like, don't, you know what I'm saying? And don't, this man, it's guys that when they get outed, they'll shoot. They'll shoot now because they don't want nobody to really know. So when he told me that, I'm like, uh-oh. Now I know, I hope he don't think that I'm finna out him on Facebook or what have you. So I was trying to de-escalate the situation. Like, listen now, when y'all trying to smoke now, hey, I need that money, but I don't get down like that. Now, when I talked to my daddy, I called my daddy because it was another time. I can't remember what time it happened, but I called my daddy and I say, Daddy, I say, man, these men out here is crazy. I say, it's men that be saying stuff. Oh, I was on Twitter. Now, this after I built my brand. This is after I built my brand. I'm on Twitter, and I probably got 100,000 followers on there. And I'm going off script. Oh, man, we passed 35 minutes. Y'all see what I be trying to tell you? I be wanting to do 30 minutes, and I be having too much to touch on. So I'm on Twitter, and I get a message from a blogger that is a big blogger, had a good amount of followers. And the message said, well, I hope that man ain't watching my video today. The message said, the message said, I will suck the skin off your and swallow I'm trying not to, cause I'm like, whoa. So now I'm like, this was before the Me Too movement. I'd had to join the Me Too movement. I'm like, I actually should have started the Me Too movement because of the men that was coming to my DM. That happened on Twitter, and then it happened later on Instagram. And I'm like, and so I called my daddy because I'm like, man, this right here is kind of traumatized. Like, and it helped me realize and understand, like, can you imagine what women go through from heterosexual men, from men who coming on to them? I'm like, I'm a grown man. Like, I'm grown enough, but I could take your life. I could knock your teeth out your mouth, and you trying me like this. I'm like, man, I look that so. And so I called my daddy. I'm like, Daddy, this kind of messages I'm getting. I say, part of me, I want to respond and say something like, boy, don't you ever disrespect me like that in your life. Why I knock the mess out you? And because I was getting fed up because it had been happening now. Now it didn't happen over the years numerous times. And I'm at that point where, like, man, y'all gonna stop trying me like this. Because if that's how you want to live, okay, live that way. If you don't see nobody post that little flag that they use or put that in their bio, like, bro, don't be just sending no message. Don't be just sending me no message about that. So I called him that, and he said, son, listen, don't even respond. He said the best way to handle that right there, do not even respond. Because if you respond, and so in the past it was like, I ain't know what was going on. I'm like, what the world? And I had a cousin that was like that. But he had girlfriends. And then it came out he was with men. And then it later came out he had full-blown AIDS. I don't know if the clinical term is full-blown. But where I'm from, that's what we call it, full-blown AIDS. And I was like, man, that's all right. Yeah, that's tough. You know, and he's still living though. He's still living, so they could live, with that. But and y'all remember back in the 80s when they started talking about that's where them AIDS was. They were saying that's where the AIDS come from, and all this stuff about it's from monkeys, it's from Africa, it's from this and that. And so all this stuff right here, this video taking a whole nother turn. But the reason why I'm touching on this is because this is becoming more and more prevalent. There's more and more men out here who are down low men who are using women as a cover up. And the reason why they doing that is because still in a lot of communities, and it ain't just a black community. It's Hispanic community, African community, Jamaican, Puerto Rico. It's a lot of places in the world that lifestyle for a man is not acceptable. And so what's happening is a lot of women today have a boyfriend that like men's. And I done seen it. I could tell it cause see, men know men. Now, not always. Some men will catch you off guard. But on average, a man know a man. And so I was in the store one time and I seen this young lady and I could just tell. And then I seen her man and he had dyed his hair blonde. This was a black man and he had a little light fro. He hadn't dyed it blonde. And his shorts was a little too tight. And it was a little too short. And he was walking with a little switch in his hips. And they had kids. But the woman, I could tell that she is the type of woman that she's ostracized by America. Her look is not praised in the movies and the media. So typically what these men will try to do is what I'm noticing, they'll get somebody that's young, like this sister here, that they feel is young and dumb. He feels she young and dumb. This sister, all these red flags that everybody watching this video done heard. And it's like these flags ain't red enough for her. Sister, God bless you. God bless you. Sister, listen, you need to run. You need to run. Because this man going to be done come and put something in your body. Okay? He finna catch something in one of these here escapades he having. And he finna come deposit it right in you. Sister, you need to run. Sister, you need to run. All this right here is red flag. Like, I could break this whole thing down line by line, but this here, and the reason why I'm touching on this is because this happened a lot now. And it angers me because it's like, I understand the heart. I understand the heart of a human and also, and more specifically, the heart of a woman. And how most women are just looking for love. Just want to be loved. And you get a man that's going to show you a little bit of attention, show you a little love, you fall head over heels from him, and then he could be using you as a cover up. And he like, man. So I'm going to tell you like right here. If you have to ask a man, are you a? And the reason why I'm saying the word like that is because some word and everything could be, they might think it's some hate speech, certain type of speech on here. They might think I'm talking bad about people or something like that. So understand that when I be muffling my word. So, but if you have to ask a man this right here question, go on about your business. Just save yourself the headache, because a man who is 100% heterosexual, he's not going to give you any vibe when he in person with you or you around him, you talking to him, you see how he move. He ain't going to give you no vibe that he possibly could want him a man. So if you have to ask a man that, and maybe you just ask him because he messaged Derek on that out. Nah, but even that's too much. That is too much. Like, cause bro, what you on the out messaging Derek? What you been to ask Derek? Hey, yeah, I just want to ask you how your experience been on the out. You been able to find you anything? You been able to find you any women for the threesome on here? Derek? No, that's not what he finna, cause he would have put that out. Hey, what up, bro? Man, I seen you on here. Did we go to high school together? Oh man, you still single too? Hey, God bless you, boy. Have fun. Hope you let me know if you meet your wife. He would have spelled the message out. You not finna just write no man, hey. It ain't say, what up, bruh? Like, did we go to high school together? Like, it wasn't no extra context on that. He just said, hey. But see, I don't know. That could be, I remember watching a movie, was it a Tyler Perry movie or somebody movie, and they was in the movie and it said like them guys when they talking to each other, it had little words in the movie, and it was like you got some dust in your eye. Look like you got some dust in your eye. And the man was walking in the bathroom and said that to the man. Look like you got some dust in your eye. Not honestly, it got me thinking. If it's been several other times that a man has said something to me that was a code word that they done put on Reddit or put on a blog somewhere. If you in that lifestyle, because now I'm sitting here trying to think of a man that came up to me and said, "Hey, your shoes untied. Hey, your hat on backwards." Or a cold word to me that I was like, "What, bro? My shoes untied. I ain't got no laces. What you talking about?" Oh, never mind. I thought you had laces. Never mind. Now I'm trying to think back to see if I done heard the cold word. So, but I'm telling y'all right here, this sister here done been bit. She done been bit by it. This man here don't like no women. This man don't like no women. And see, this is the thing. His friends that he picking, they probably got the connects, and they bring him his little situations when he go to hang out with them and partying with them and all that and catching charges, like kind of charge. Obviously has some alcohol or drugs or something on there. And so he out there taking charges. Like, he taking that charge because she feeding him. Ugh. That's why he taking that charge, because she bringing him his men. Okay? All right, you better listen to me now. I'm reading all into this here. And this right here what tipped that off. This what tipped that off. Recently, I ran into his best friend. And she asked to talk to me for a minute. But my Lyft driver had arrived. My car in the shop. I could not talk to her. It's been a week since I messaged his friend asking her what she want to talk about. Yet I haven't received a response. Oh no, it's above that now. Above that. She is only into women. Informed me that he had told her months ago that he had with his best friend. And when I asked him, was this true? He just said that people are trying to ruin his happiness because they're miserable. So now, okay, now right here, right now, come on now. All right, okay. I keep forgetting that you're 21. Okay, I keep forgetting that you're 21. All right, now listen. Okay, this right here, this friend, this quote unquote best friend, who you said is only into women. She not only into women. If she into women, then she into bisexual. She into men and women, which also could explain him trying to find somebody on the 5 apps for a reason. A woman who is only into women and is a man's best friend is not going to tell his girlfriend that he told her some months ago that he had with his best friend, his other best friend, who you mentioned 2 best friends. The other best friend you said is who he describes as a So if that other best friend that he quote unquote up with is a but ain't have that procedure done, because you said she's still trying to figure herself out whether she want to keep it or let it go. So it sounds like she still got Mr. Johnson down there swinging. If the other best friend come to tell you that he done slept with the other best friend, that means he had, okay, why it took me? Oh. Him and the best friend that he supposedly they swore fighting. They swore fighting. And so, and then the best friend that told you that, she the one that's been writing him, telling him she loved him. So he told you she into women, so that you'll drop your guard. She ain't into women, she into men. That's why she tells you love him, and that's why she came to tell you that, trying to get you out the way. And then what he said, they trying to ruin his happiness. No, she trying to ruin his games that he playing with all of y'all. Cause she like, he playing all three of us. He's sleeping with this one over here, who sleeping with you, and sleeping with that other one. And then to top this all off, sister, and I pray that since you wrote this email to me, you ain't caught no disease. I pray you ain't contracted nothing. God bless you. I'm praying for you that you find the strength to walk away. The strength to walk away. Sister, come on now. I'm trying not to say nothing too direct, because I can't say that you acting dumb, because, well, no, you said that. No, you said that. You said, I don't know if I'm being stupid. I ain't say it. You said that. So I'm going to let you know, yes, that's exactly what you've been. That's exactly what you've been. Oh, you said, or if this is part of the process. Because a lot of relationships, They ain't worse. They ain't worse. Yeah, you got you a few out there that's worse, but well, all this right here, this man got too much going on. He got a friend, just a best friend. He got another best friend he taking charges for, and she supposedly only in the women. But that friend coming to you and telling you that he done up with his other best friend that is supposedly be a friend and still trying to figure herself out. Then best friend getting invited him over to his house. The best friend whole family like him. His son done met the best friend, and they hanging out having a good time. Like, it sounds like y'all boring. Like, y'all, and he don't do nothing but just talk to you. It's like he doing all the hanging out with them. He out Bonnie and Clyde with the best friend catching charges, while you sitting at the house emailing me, while he on the couch of not his family, not his brother couch. He on his brother ex-girlfriend couch. That's the closest couch he got to him, and his brother ex-girlfriend. So his brother ain't got nowhere to stay. His brother ain't got nowhere to stay. He ain't got nowhere to stay. But he got all the time to be riding around catching charges. And then he catch a charge. I forgot to hit on this. And you put up $900. Y'all see why I'm trying to retire from one-on-one coaching? Because if I had to talk to you one-on-one about this here, and this here can't help save 100 other women from a man who like men, I'd be highly upset. So I'm glad you sent this here email in, so that this could help every other woman who got a suspicion that they man might like men. Cause I'm here to tell you, he do. If you got that suspicion, he do. Yep. A woman's intuition. You are a woman, so that is the feminine. When you with a man who is a man, you're gonna feel the masculine. When you have to look him in his face and ask him, do he like men? Sister, it's time to run. It's time to run, because a masculine man ain't gonna be laying down with you and being around you and you have any inclination that he like men. A man that is into women only. A man that is into, he going to send a little flag. He gonna send a little smoke signal that says that he go more than one way. Okay? And that right there is dangerous, and it's unfair to you. Because if you didn't sign up to be with a man who want to lay down with men and lay down with women, then that's unfair to you. But if you sense that, and then you got other stuff like this popping up, because you know this answer. Well, you don't even know the answer, because you just know what he tell you. So with the who you say trying to figure herself out, I don't know where you get that from. He told you he's still trying. Whoever's trying to figure themselves out, they are trying to figure out themselves. That's what he told you. Cause I don't know. I don't know if that's the case, or if that friend done made a choice that gonna keep that, but dress like a woman, walk like a woman, talk like a woman. So now he get to have all what he want to have. He got him somebody who look like a woman under the guise of being a best friend, which you broke up with him for 30 days over that person. So let me tell you something in closing. Do you see how, and this to everybody who listening, do you see how this young lady here, who's still a baby, 21, you grown now, you grown, but you young, still very young. Do you see how her intuition is screaming? Do you see how her intuition is screaming? Now, I don't know necessarily the word to put it in other than you need to leave. Go on about your business right now, ASAP, immediately. The reason why he writing you 30 days, constantly texting you and calling you, pleading for us to work out, because he need his cover up. You are his cover up. He don't want to face the music of coming out that closet. So he is trapped in that closet with R. Kelly and them Isley brothers, because he do not want to come out that closet. So he is begging and pleading you, please come on back, because I need to cover up. Because I need to still be over there with my friend who ain't figured herself out and still got that thing that when I go hang out with her, he up there, and then coming back to you. He going sword fighting with her and then coming back to you. Them. Because I don't know what, the proper term, what that individual would refer to themselves as. So, because you say they still trying to figure theirself out. So we'll let that be that. But what you need to do, you need to take care of you. So you left him over that friend. And then you ask him, do he like men's? You caught him on 5 different apps. You caught him talking, begging and pleading his ex of 4 years. You see he lost the ex of 4 years for cheating on her with his baby mama. He hanging out with the other friend family, introducing his child to that other friend family. They like him. They invite him over. They love him. Listen, he trying to build up the courage to come on out that closet. But until then, he wants you to be his cover up. And I'm telling you, these men, for y'all men out here living that lifestyle, man, you need to get your stuff together and you need to go and make a decision and go to God and don't be making nobody else a victim to your spiritual warfare. When you got this woman, leading this woman along, dragging her by her heartstrings, and then juggling your other little situations out here. Come on. Ladies, y'all stop playing yourself. Stop playing yourself. You sense stuff like this about a man, and you got all these red flags, don't let me have to tell you. Go on about your business. Go on about your business. Hey, this is Tony Gas, and God bless you. We'll talk soon.